Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of The Tipsy Talker. Like always, I am your host, Mr. Tipsy, and today I just want to throw some things out there, talk randomly. I don't really have a topic of conversation for today, but I want to touch on some work-related, home-related things today. So we'll talk about that today and maybe compare some things, maybe look at some things, see like how it is to live today, little things like that. Maybe that might kind of touch home for a lot of people who are listening today. All right. So with that being said, we'll start talking. How's that? Yeah. So today is Saturday, the 11th, July the 11th. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Our 4th of July pretty much got washed out. It was, I would say, like right around the time when the fireworks were supposed to start going off, depending on where you lived, we got hit with a storm, crazy storm. I mean, it was so bad it actually knocked power out for residents, for 2 or 3 days, and it was pretty bad. But me and Mrs. Tipsy were sitting out front, and we're like, the kids are going to light off fireworks, and depending on where they lived at, and it came down here really bad. I'm talking, it felt like 45-mile-an-hour winds, and it was raining and hard lightning and thunder, and it was just all over the place. It was crazy. And I even said to Mrs. Tipsy, I was like, wow, like we've lived here 20 years, and I don't really remember a time that the weather has been that bad. It was like insane. Our neighbor's trash bin blew over. It skated across their lawn, out into the street, across the street, and went all the way down to the other end of the block. It was like crazy. Yeah, so I wanted to do something for you guys on the 4th of July. I've been working a lot lately, so I couldn't, but I do want to wish you all a happy 4th of July. I hope everybody still has all of their fingers, because I know the 4th of July brings out some crazy people. It does. People are trying to hold fireworks and shoot them off in the air and stuff like that, and then they lose a finger, or they do something dumb. So I hope you still have all of your fingers and your toes. I hope your 4th of July was great. Hopefully you had a couple of drinks, got yourself a little tipsy. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a celebration. It's a holiday. It's what it's all about. Shoot off some fireworks, have a cookout, do your thing. So I hope you all had a happy 4th of July. I hope you got a chance to see some fireworks and have a cookout on a grill and spend time with your family and just have a wonderful 4th of July. Like I said, I did want to do one on the 4th, but I didn't. I was working a lot. So tomorrow I actually end my 11-day stretch. I've been working a lot lately. And I am a general manager, so my job obviously is to get the schedule done. And I hired a new guy. When the new guy came in, he was like, "Hey, I can't work the first 2 weeks of July. This is when I take my vacation." I'm like, "Yep, no problem. It is what it is. No worries." And then I had forgotten, obviously because I got a lot going on. And then one of my other team members came to me and was like, "Hey, I would like to take my vacation this week." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool. I got you, buddy. No worries." So I granted 2 of my team members off the same week. And it was a struggle. Let me tell you, it was. I put in 67 hours this week. And then I have another team member who was willing to help me out. And he put in, I think, about 52 hours. So, yeah. So tomorrow, oh, thank God. Oh, my Lord. Yes, tomorrow is my last day of my 11-day stretch. I am going to be so relieved when I clock out tomorrow. It's going to feel so good. But, and let's talk about that. So a little bit. Let's think about that. So, your job. Obviously, we all have to work because we all have to make money, and money is what makes the world go round. But why is it so hard to live nowadays? Seriously. Why is it so hard? Like, what used to be, you would go to Walmart, you go to the dollar store, you go to the grocery store, whatever, wherever you went. If you were going to the grocery store, and let's just say hypothetically that you were getting paid weekly. So, okay, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy enough groceries to last me for the week. And back then, what would cost you what? Let's say, I don't know, $150. Let's just say, we'll go high. $150 last you for the week. I got groceries for my family for the whole week. Now, that same grocery bill is like $300. Why? It's so horrible. And you have the groceries, and yes, that's one thing, but obviously you have the rising gas prices. We all know why. I'm not even going to get into that. Don't even want to get into it. Don't even care. It sucks. It is what it is. Nobody likes it. We all hate it. But you got, grocery prices rising. You got gas prices rising. You got all your utilities rising. I mean, and look at this. And I don't know what the hell's going on, but you want to get like a 1-bedroom apartment nowadays, you're looking at $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month. So if you're working at McDonald's as a full-time job, guess what, homie? You ain't got no fucking house. Absolutely ridiculous. This world fucking sucks. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It fucking sucks. If you ain't making over $85K a year, you ain't living. At this point, $85,000, personally, I would say is poverty. Seriously, think about it. Car payments, car insurance, rent, electric, cable, phone, internet, groceries, gas money. It's a lot, and it's so much that you can't do it. And then if you have like daycare, if you have any extra medical expenses, if you have anything like that, you just can't do it. You just can't. Absolutely ridiculous. So, I've been saying, why? Why is it? And I know, I'm sure, back when they had the Great Depression, everybody was struggling. Oh man, we can't make ends meet. Okay, let's do a scrap drive. Let's do rubber. Let's do what we got to do. People did. However, I would say, late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. Not so bad, honestly. Jobs were paying a good, decent amount. They were paying enough. But you weren't going to the store saying, hey, what the hell's going on here? Why am I only getting one bag of whatever the hell it may have been for $700? You weren't saying that. You were like, all right, I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'll buy a couple things. Yeah, you had a couple bags you left there with $60, $70, $80. Yeah, at the time it seemed it seemed a little high, but it wasn't so bad. Now you go to Walmart, you have 2 bags, you're easy $300. It's absolutely insane. It's horrible. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks to live nowadays. It sucks to live. And it's not, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that the world or that the economy or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, whatever the case may be. It's not fair that it sucks you dry. It's just not fair. Now, do I understand? I do. I get it. People who are working nowadays need more money. They do. They need more money to live because rent's $10,000. Grocery bills are another $8,000, and your electric and your phone and your cable and your cell phones and your car insurance, all that's another 10,000. So I get, okay, obviously I'm being sarcastic, but realistically, your rent anywhere from $1,200 a month to, let's just say, $2,200 a month just for your rent. Now, depending on where you live, people won't pay water, sewer, trash anymore. So you got, most of the times a renter wouldn't have to pay water. Okay, let's water, sewer, that's on them. You got trash, maybe, another 60 to 90 bucks a month. Then you have your internet bill, which is $100 a month. Now, there are a lot of people out there that will go and cancel their cable and just go internet because, let's face it, you can pretty much watch the same stuff on the internet that you can watch on cable. So you really don't need cable. But if you have a cable bill, if you have DirecTV like we do, you're looking at $85 a month for your DirecTV or Comcast or whoever you like. Then you have another $80, $90, $100 a month for your internet bill. Then you have another $150, anywhere from $150 to $300 a month on your electric bill. You have another $100 a month, give or take, on your car insurance. You have, depending on how many people you have in your family, depending on how many cell phones you have, you're looking at anywhere from, 80 to, I don't know, $150 a month for your cell phone bill. Groceries, depending on how you do it. Either you go out one stop shop, you go and you'll spend $700-800 for groceries. You're either going to do it bi-weekly, you're going to do it by the month. If you do it by the day, which isn't so bad, no matter what though, you're still looking at least $300 a week. So you're looking at $1,200 a month for your grocery bill. You're already up $80,000, $85,000 a year, man. You are skating by. If you don't have a spouse or you don't have any other means of income to help you out with that amount, you are poverty. Unfortunately, you are poverty. You have enough to get your bills paid, which is fine, and then you have nothing left. And it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame.
Something went wrong.
I recently had a scare. Anybody that listens to my podcast will know that, I went in for some chest pain. So we'll talk about that for a brief minute. I don't want to dwell on it, but we'll talk about it, and I'll let guys know how I made out and what happened. So, excuse me. So, I went into the hospital because I was having chest pains. And, they were like, oh my God, come in here, relax, heart attack. They're thinking the worst. So I do the EKG, they hook me up to these machines and they're looking at everything, and I'm in the hospital and they're like, well, okay, so we're running all these tests. They took so many vials of blood from me, and they're running tests on me and doing all this stuff, and so they come back to me at some point and they're like, well, I don't understand. Things are looking fine. I don't get it. And I'm like, okay. So this was a Friday, by the way. They're like, so we're going to admit you into the hospital, and then Monday morning, we are going to get a hold of the heart doctor, and we'll set you up with an appointment. They're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, well, no, I'm not doing that. I have a life, I have a family, and I have work. So I'm not, I can't afford to take off work for 2 days while you guys don't know what's wrong with me, and you're just going to schedule something for Monday anyway, right? So they come back, they let me know that all my blood tests are fine, and all the heart rate is fine, my EKG is fine, everything is fine. And I'm like, okay. So they're saying, well, Monday we're gonna schedule an appointment for the heart doctor, and we'll go from there. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to sign myself out. And they're like, wow, against doctor's orders. Of course, against doctor's orders, because you want to keep me in there and charge me $50,000 for an aspirin. Ain't going to happen. I ain't going to do it. Schedule me an appointment. I will schedule myself an appointment for Monday, just like you would. And then I'm going to go home. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to go home with my family. I'm going to go back to work and do what I have to do because I have to work. And I will schedule my appointment for Monday. So, and let's talk about that for a brief second. So you go into the hospital, and they're all, oh, Mr. Tipsy, oh, we care about you so much. And, oh, yeah, here, oh, do you need anything? Oh, we're going to take care of you. And they're so nice. Oh, my God, they are over the top nice. Let me tell you, over the top nice, right? So get on my test back. And that's another thing. I've been smoking for 37 years. I started smoking when I was 12. I'm 49. I have been smoking for 37 years. My oxygen intake level is 98%. Go figure that out. No idea. Don't know, don't care, don't fucking give a shit. Right? So anyway, keep going. So, oh, Mr. Tipsy, oh, I don't know. Everything's coming back great. Everything's coming back fine. In the meantime, I still have chest pain. My chest pain is just that. It is a discomfort in the middle of my chest that radiates kind of from the left side of my neck, right like where my jugular vein would be, and it radiates down my arm. It feels like I'm having a heart attack. Like when you hear, oh my God, the classic, symptoms of a heart attack. Holy shit, man, you're going to die. You're going to have a heart attack, right? So I'm like, fuck, I'm scared. I go in there and they're like, I don't know, everything's good. Like your heartbeat's normal, and the enzymes around your heart, they're all normal. Your EKG is normal. All these blood tests, they're all normal. I'm like, all right, well then I'm going to leave. So doctor comes in and he finds out that I'm leaving, and all of a sudden he's a prick. Yeah. He's like, oh, well, I hear you want to leave. Yes, I want to leave because everything is fine and you're not going to schedule me an appointment till Monday anyway. Today's Friday. I'm not going to sit in the hospital for 2 days for you to not do anything for me to quote unquote monitor me, just for me to go and get seen by a heart physician anyway, right? So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm checking myself out. I'm done. Well, that's against doctor's orders. I'm just letting you know, you can do whatever you want, but that's against my orders. Okay, that's fine. It's against your orders. I'm leaving. They went from the nicest people in the world to the absolute rudest people in the world. He leaves. Okay, well, whatever. If you don't want to stay here, that is what it is. I can't make you. Okay, we'll be in touch. He leaves. The nurse lady that was so nice. Oh, we're going to take care of you. Blah. She comes in. She's like, well, I guess you're leaving. She starts ripping shit out of my arm. She pulls my catheter out. I want to get you out of here as quick as possible. Really? Really? Fine. Not that I want to be there anyway, because I definitely did not. But if you're going to act, and that's what it is. That's what the doctors do. They act like they care about you. They don't give a shit about you. You're not their family. They don't care. However, if you're going to put on an act and you're going to be like, oh my God, we care about you so much, continue that act the whole way up until I leave. You know what I'm saying? I would have said, I would have come back in and be like, oh, I know that you want to sign yourself out. I suppose you're right. I mean, there really isn't anything we could do except for monitor your condition until Monday. But if you're willing to make a doctor's appointment, we'll take you care of. We'll take care of you. Bring your nurse in. Oh, hey, we're sorry to see you leave. All right. So let's get this stuff out of you here so we can send you on your way. Just remember, if there's anything you need, let us know. Or if you're feeling any chest discomfort, or if you feel like you might be having a heart attack, call 911. Please, this is a serious issue. be nice to me the whole way through. Don't be nice to me as soon as I get in, and then be a dick to me when I sign myself out. Why? Because you're not getting any more money? Yeah. 3 hours in the emergency room, one hospital visit, $6,000. I ain't shitting you. I'm dead serious. And let's talk about that little hospital visit. So I make the visit on a Monday to go and see the heart doctor. I go in, I get weighed, I go into the room. They ask me all the same questions that the doctor asked me. I tell them. They said, okay, we're going to schedule you for an echocardiogram, and then we're also going to schedule you to have a heart catheter installed. I'm like, all right. So, okay, is there anything else? No, nope, that's about it. Okay, bye, have a good day. Yeah, that was literally, that was the visit. I was there for a half hour. Most of the time I was sitting in the waiting room. It took, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. Yeah, $1,000. Okay, $1,000. So I scheduled everything I got to schedule. Now, moving along, coming soon. All right, here we go. So I'm scheduled to have my echocardiogram done on my heart, which, if anybody doesn't know, that's basically an ultrasound of the heart. Okay, so they do an ultrasound. They make sure that all of your heart valves are operating correctly. So I go there, and I go in the room, and, you know, she's like, okay, like, lay on your side. I'm going to put this jelly on your chest, whatever. And she does this thing, and she's clicking pictures, and, you know, every once in a while I hear my heart beating, you know, like it sounds like a baby. You know, you hear that noise. I'm like, oh man, I haven't heard that since it's been like 16 years since my last born. So I'm hearing this stuff, and then, so she stops, and then she's like, so, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to actually shoot dye into your veins to light up your arteries so we can see a little better. Now, I ain't going to lie to you, that shit worried me, because I'm thinking that stuff, you know, the dye was not supposed to happen until I had the heart catheter. So I was like, oh shit, like, oh man, they found something that's not good. But, you know, I played it cool. I'm a man, you know, it is what it is. So I'm like, all right, yeah, that's fine. So lady comes in, puts an IV into my arm, and then they shoot this dye into my veins. They light up my veins. They do the echo with the dye in there, and they get done. They're like, okay, put your shirt back on, and then you'll know your results later on tonight. And I'm like, okay, well, am I dying? You know, like, I want to know, like, am I dying? Like, what's going on? Oh, you'll know your results later on tonight. So, all right, whatever. Literally in like an hour and a half, I got the results loaded into my portal. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All of my heart valves are normal. All of my arteries are open fully. They're not clogged. They're not shut. Nothing. All of my blood work came back perfect. So my blood work, perfect. My heart, perfect. But keep in mind, I still have this chest pain. You know, I still have the chest pain, which I now believe is stress. But here's the kicker. Nobody has given me anything for a stress medication, nothing. They didn't say, well, your heart's okay, so it must be stress. Why don't we start you on this, you know, I don't know, give you 50 milligrams of blah, 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 and send you on your way. Nothing. Ever since then, I have not heard nothing from them. Yeah. So, I have always been a firm believer. Fuck doctors, fuck hospitals. You know, they don't care about you. Now, are they there to save your life in an emergency? Absolutely. I'm not going to say that they're not, because they will definitely save your life in an emergency. However, if it's just you go in there and you want to be seen, you got to go and jump through every single loop and hole they may have for you to get seen. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, well, sorry for the rant, but I just want to let you know, Mr. Tipsy, perfectly fine. Um, like I said, I've been smoking for 37 years. My oxygen intake's 98%. They know that I drink a lot. And not a single one of them was like, yeah, you might want to cut back on your drinking because that's a little bit. None of them. And then, like I said about smoking, and they're like, well, how much do you smoke? I said, well, I smoke about, like a pack and a half, maybe 2 packs a day, depending if I'm drinking or not. I said, but, I really have been thinking about, maybe, switching over to the vape, trying to wheeze myself off. And they're like, nope. Nope. If you're going to do that, just keep smoking. What in the shit? Seriously. Back in my day, and I know you hear this a lot. Back in my day, I had to ride my bicycle up 2 hills to get to school. But yeah, whatever. I'm teasing it. But anyway, like back in my day, if you drank alcohol, if you smoked cigarettes, you went in and you seen any kind of a doctor. It didn't matter if it was a hospital doctor or a family doctor. It wouldn't matter. They would that was the first thing. You need to stop smoking. You need to stop drinking. That's it. They would always tell you that. Now, this woman is like, well, no, keep smoking. Don't vape. Keep smoking. What the fuck? Yeah. No idea. So, I believe that my issue is a stress-related issue. Stress or anxiety. I definitely have a lot of that going on right now in my life. A lot of things going on here, but I believe that's what it is. So Mr. Tipsy is fine. I'm not going to croak anytime soon, hopefully. So that means I will be able to give you more stories about my life as of now. Little side note before I move on. I do feel perfectly fine. I do feel that like once I do any kind of like a strenuous activity, like if I go out and mow the grass, it takes me a little bit longer now. Like I get chest pain, but if I stop, sit down, drink some water, just relax for about 5 minutes, goes away, I'm good to go. If I take some pills, like a blood thinner and Aleve, something like that, I sleep all night, no chest pain, I'm fine. So I'm sure that it is a stress situation or anxiety situation. I really, really would have liked them to tell me that, and I really would have liked them to prescribe me something, but they didn't. So, and maybe that's a good thing because I don't want my bill to go from $6,000 to $10,000 just for a medication. Anyway, yeah. So Mr. Tipsy is fine. I'm still here with you guys. I'm still doing my thing, talking shit. Bam, bam, bam. So getting back to, today, like that's a point that I had to make, it's not just groceries, it's not just rent and utilities, now if you want to be seen by a doctor or whatever, it's going to cost you a lot of money for a doctor's bill if you don't have really good insurance anyway, so that's another added bonus. It seems like it's so hard to live. So what do people do? People get second jobs, right? People try to work more. Like, hey, they'll tell the boss, hey, like, if you can give me any more hours, like, I'll take more hours, whatever you can give me. Or they're out looking, they're looking through, like, the Indeed apps, they're looking for anything to get more money. And honestly, because they need it. They don't want to kill themselves working. They want to make ends meet. They want to wake up every morning and feel comfortable. Like, hey, I got, $10,000 limit on my credit card and my credit card's paid off. I got about $17,000 in the bank. I'm comfortable as long as I just go through the day. I'll buy myself, a $10 lunch. I'll fill my cart with gas, which is going to cost me like $40. And as long as I have enough I'm okay, But there's people that aren't like that. There are people that live paycheck to paycheck. The struggles are real. They'll come home from work and they'll be like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner. I don't know. Like I have $17 in my bank account that's got to last me 2 weeks. What do I do? What do you do? Do you starve? Or do you run to the dollar store, grab some ramen noodles, and call it a day? Unfortunately, if you don't want to starve, that's pretty much your option. But why is it like that? Why do we have to be like that in today's society? It's just horrible. And then you think, if I'm working, like if I'm spending all this time away from home, I better be getting something out of it, right? Because think about it. A true family man, a true family woman, a true family person, they don't want to spend any time away from home. They will if they have no choice. If it's like, hey, like, I want to be home with you guys, I want to be doing the family thing with you guys, but I have to go out here and I got to do all this, you got to make sure that you're getting, it's beneficial. You know what I mean? Like, all right, look, here's the deal. I am not going to be home for another, I don't know, let's just say 20 hours this week. So you're going to miss me for 20 hours more. However, that 20 hours is going to bring us enough to last us for another 2 weeks. All right. It's not something that you want to do, but it's something that you will sacrifice to make sure that you have the money to provide for your family. But how many of us, seriously, spend that much time away from home? How many of us sit and think, I want to be home right now. I want to be with my family right now. They have this going on and this going on and that going on. Or even if there's nothing going on, how many of us are just like, I just want to be home with my family. That's where I want to be. I'm sure it's got to be an easy 75% of today's population. It's got to be. I think about it all the time. Like, I really do. I think about, is this really what I want to be doing? Do I want to be in here doing this day in and day out, day after day, hour after hour? Work does not make me happy. The paychecks do not make me happy. They don't. The paychecks provide. So like, how many of you guys are like, yep, it goes as fast as it comes. 1 minute's there, next minute's gone. Exactly, same thing. That's what I'm talking about. Payday doesn't make you happy. Payday gives you a sense of relief that you can get the bills taken care of. Payday gives you that, all right, rent's paid. All right, electric's paid. All right, cell phone bills, all my bills are paid. Do I have any money left? No. Are all my bills paid? Yes. But that's not living. It's not living. That is going day by day just to make ends meet so you're not homeless. And that's what it all comes down to. Are you homeless? No. Are you hungry? Not really. I got enough to eat. Okay. Do you have a couple little luxuries? Yes. What are your luxuries? Some people have car payments. Okay, that's a luxury. Your cell phone, that's a luxury. Your internet. Unfortunately, that's a luxury too, Doing some things. Going out for a dinner here and there. Going out and having breakfast here and there. Luxuries. Why is that a luxury? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I have, in my older years, I would say probably as recent as about 5 years ago, I stopped devoting myself to my job. Now, obviously, I still go to work and I still do what I got to do and I still make money because I know that I have to provide for my family. I know I have to do that. However, work used to be my top priority. I would be at work from sun up to sundown, no regrets. I would give it 110% every day, every single day. If somebody called off, I was the guy who came in and helped you out. If you needed me, I was there. I was always there. However, I was never home. I would be there for the younger kids if they had something going on. And I'll be honest with you, even that was hard. They were into all kinds of sports growing up. They started with basketball, cheerleading, then it went into football. They were in the choir at school. They were always into something. And it was like work all day, work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, get off work, and you're not coming home. You're going to see your kids either play basketball, play football, sing in the choir. You're doing something. Watching them cheerlead. So your day starts at 6:30. Well, your day starts at 5 o'clock in the morning for some of us, and doesn't end to 8:30 at night for some of us. You literally have an hour and a half to come home, sit down, kind of relax, just before you have to start all over again. So there came a time in my life where I was like, work is not going to determine my life. It's not going to do it. My family would love me if I was a millionaire. My family would love me if I had nothing at all. And all I need is my family. So if I decide to up and quit and I don't have no money coming in and we're struggling hardcore, it wouldn't matter. Honestly, to me, it wouldn't matter. Would I like the finer things? Yeah, the stuff that we do. We go on vacations. We go on trips. We go out to eat breakfast on my days off. We go out to eat dinner here and there. Yes, I had the ability to, oh, do we need this? Do we need that? Do we need that? Okay, let's go and get it. I have that ability now. Does it define me? No, absolutely not. It doesn't define me. I don't care. Would I miss that? Like, would I miss, oh, hey, our toaster broke. Let's go to Walmart and get a new one. If I didn't have the money, yeah, I would miss that. But what would I miss more? Would I miss going to Walmart and buying a toaster? Or would I miss being home and being with my family? Yep, you got it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, you devote yourself to your job so much, and I get why. I get it. But I have come to the realization where I don't need the job anymore. I don't know if I even want the job anymore. Do I want to be poor and a bum? No, because nobody does. But I need to monitor how much time I spend at work versus how much time I spend at home. I do. I need to monitor that, because home is where the heart is. Home is where you're needed. Home is where you're loved. Home is your life. Home is your everything. Family is your everything. Your job, let's face it, your job does not give a shit about you. You are an employee number. That is all you are. If they don't like what you're doing, you're fired. If they don't like how you're acting, you're fired. They don't give a shit if you gave them 1 year or 20 years of your life. They don't care at all. If you don't do what they want you to do, you're done. Well, I can tell you, my family would never say that. My family would never be like, oh, you're not making no money? I'm out of here. Get the hell out. You're done. Never. So it makes you wonder. Makes you wonder what's more important. It's not just me. I'm sure, hell, I'm sure 98% of Americans would love to stop working. Am I right? I feel that I am. We would all love to stop working, but we can't. We can't stop working because we have the need to live the life. And unfortunately for us, what is life? It's our home. It's our car. It's food. It's the things that you need to have to get by in life. You need to have it. So I know people want to quit. I know people are just like, this is horrible. And let's dig into that a little bit. Why? Why do they feel that way? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because you're waking up, busting your ass, leaving your house, leaving your family, leaving everything behind. So at the end of the week, you have a paycheck that doesn't exist anymore. Think about it. Seriously. You might be able to throw a couple bucks in your savings or whatever. Yeah, you might be able to do that. If you're really good with money, you budget your money. I know that there's a lot of people doing that nowadays, and they got money in their savings account, lets them live a little bit more comfortable. But there are people that don't have that. There are people that are, okay, it's payday. All right, I got a $1,200 paycheck and I got $900 worth of bills. You have, so that, what's that mean? You have $300 last year for a week or 2 weeks? Wow. What do you do? It's horrible. It's horrible. It's not fair. It's not right. It's just, it's like locking you in where you want to go and you want to experience other things. You want to do other things. You want to live your life a different way and you just cannot do it. Unfortunately, you can't because you're stuck in the life that you have. And then you have these RVers. Now, so I see these on YouTube all the time. I see them out there doing their thing and oh my God, I would love to do this. You see these couples and they're they buy this old RV or this old trailer and they turn it into their little dream home on wheels and they go out and they're living off the grid and blah 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 blah, and it looks so perfect and so neat and you want to do this, but little do you know that these guys that are on these YouTube channels and their RV life, they also have remote jobs. They work remotely from their RV. They're getting paid a lot of money to do what they're doing. You'll never hear none of that. All you see is they're posting up on, these beautiful places and these beautiful scenery and, where in the hell do you think they got $20,000 to turn a shit trailer into this beautiful, they got money. Trust me. And it's just I don't know. I don't get it. I would love, personally, I would love to do that. I would love to get an RV. Love it. I would love to just go and see the world and, camp wherever I could camp at and do what I had to do. Absolutely love it. But I can't because, you take that you take your money and you go try to do all that stuff and guess what? Ta-da, you ain't got no gas left. Right? I mean, you need gas to drive your RV, obviously. And you ain't got no gas, guess what? Your ass ain't going nowhere. That's right. So, they post this stuff and they have you looking at all this stuff and it's like, oh my God, this is so great. Yeah. And then you find out that, oh, these guys are making $95,000, $150,000 a year. Oh, that's how they were able to live that life. Yeah. So it's always, like, it's always something. It's always like a beautiful little life. But yeah, I don't know. That's one thing I've been thinking about lately. Just like working and like how much time should you work versus how much time should you spend with your family. I know that I'm not alone. I'm not alone on this. I know that there's so many people out there that get frustrated. And let's look at another thing. Let's look at today's workforce. Oh my God, don't get me fucking started on that shit. So you got these kids, the younger generation comes in, they have no worth ethic whatsoever. Not a single goddamn one of them. All they want to do is get paid to do nothing at all. It's not like back in the day when I was a kid. You go into work, you bust your ass. The better job you do, the better of a job that you do, the more money that you make, or the more that people actually see that you're like a hard worker and they do things for you. And honestly, that's what it used to be, right? Am I wrong? No, I'm not. So basically, back in the day, how it used to work is this, plain and simple. I'm a hard worker. My boss sees that I am a hard worker. Okay? They see that I'm a hard worker, and they reward you for the hard work that you did. Not no more. Shit went out the window a long fucking time ago. Let's be honest, it did. Now so as a manager, hypothetically, you hire somebody in, let's just say January 1st. You hire somebody in. What's the top rate that I can give this new hire? All right, $14 an hour. So that's my bell. He's barking. $14 an hour. All right. So let's just say, 6 months from now. 6 months from now, you bring a new hire in, and that new hire now, for some reason, gets $18 an hour. How in the hell is that fair? You have one guy that you brought in 6 months from now, and then you have a new guy who doesn't know anything making more. I don't get it. It's just not fair. But that is the way that we live today. And it's just definitely not fair. So work is definitely something that is a very sore situation. It's a very sore subject. It's definitely hit or miss. I understand there's a lot of people that want to stop working but can't. I get that part. People want to spend time with their family, but then I guess I also understand that there's a lot of people that want the paycheck but do not want to work. And that's a whole different ball of wax. The younger generation comes in and they're expecting a paycheck, but all they do is sit on their cell phones and they play video games and they look at social media, and they do not care whatsoever about customer interactions or what their job title is. They don't care. They don't give one rat's ass. But they want that paycheck at the end of the week. Oh, absolutely they do. And I I I look back and I think, where do we go wrong? I know as a boss, I know as an employee, when I was not a boss, I did work under a couple good managers, and I liked hearing, "Hey, thank you, did a great job, awesome job this week. This is what you did. This is what I noticed." Boom. So it was definitely nice hearing that you did a great job. It was encouraging. It was motivating. It gave you that oomph to kind of like go on and proceed. Now, it's not like that anymore, honestly. Like a boss. I'm a boss, and I don't tell my team on a day-to-day basis that I'm proud of them. I don't tell them, "Hey, you did a great job." I don't tell them I appreciate them. And that is a loss on my part. That's a drop of the ball on my part. It definitely is. However, I do not hear from my boss those words either. Like I will, if I know my boss is coming down, he's coming to the store today, he's going to do a walkthrough, he's going to check out my store, he never acknowledges the things that I busted my ass to make sure that the store looked good. He doesn't acknowledge the little steps that I have taken to keep the store running as well as it has been running. He, honestly, it's almost like he only looks at the negative. You're not hitting this sales metric, or you're not hitting this sales metric, or you're not hitting this sales metric, or this planogram's not complete, or this planogram's not done, or why don't you have band-aids, or why is this dirty? It's almost like they are sent to look at the negative. Honestly, it's what it seems like. And I often wonder, like, they'll come through, they'll walk through the store, and it's negative, 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 negative. Your window seals aren't clean, and this ain't 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 clean. But never once do you hear, "Oh my God, like your store is hitting like anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 every single day. Oh man, you guys are only running at like 278 hours. Oh my God, you guys are short staffed and you're still getting all your planograms done, all your outs done, all your cycle counts done, all your P cards confirmed." None of that. Like you literally hear no positive on the stuff that you have done to keep the store running at the capacity that it's running. However, you will hear every single negative that there is. This ain't done, and this ain't done, and this ain't done, and your team's not doing this, and your team's not doing that, and you're not doing this, and you're not. Really? If you want to have a team that thrives, if you want to have a team that succeeds, if you want to have your team come into work every day with motivation and determination, they need to hear, "Wow, you did a great job. Wow, you did this. Thank you for doing this. I noticed that you did this. Awesome, awesome, awesome." I do fall short of that. Unfortunately, I do. And I think about it often, and I think about it and I'm like, I should say this. However, the corporate world has drilled into my mind that even though these people show up every day, even though these people get their planograms done, even though these people shoot their routes, even though these people get all the price changes taken care of, it's still not good enough in the corporate eye. So here's your job. Do your job. You got your job done? Good. Guess what? It's not good enough. It's not good enough because, yes, even though you got your job done, you still didn't hit your sales metrics. You still didn't get your attachments. You still didn't get this. You still didn't get that. You still didn't get this. Really? So it makes you look at your team as your team is a failure when the team is doing their job. They're not doing the job to the highest level of excellence as somebody that sits in a corporate office all day long, never worked one day in a store, passes down through the chain of command what their expectations should be. And that's what it comes down to. So I personally fall short on congratulating my team, acknowledging the good stuff that they do, telling them thank you for the stuff that they've done, because that's not what corporate is looking at. Corporate is looking at something else. It's always something else. Oh, this store is hitting all their sales targets. Great. Well, they fell short on that. Oh, this store's hitting their comp. Yeah, well, that's great. Well, they fell short on this. Oh, that store got their P card confirmed and their planograms done and their cycle counts done and their outs done and their callbacks done. Oh, yeah, well, they still fell short over here. So obviously, it filters down through the chain of command, and then your boss tells you, and then you're looking at it and like, well, you guys still fell short. No, they didn't. They didn't fall short of nothing. How do you feel that? I'm going to tell you how I feel that. Because those team members got up every day. They came into work every day. They did cycle counts. They did planograms. They did price changes. They confirmed P card. They did $10,000 to $12,000 in sales every day. They held the store down. They made sure the customers were happy. They did everything that they needed to do to hold that store down. And even though that it wasn't what somebody in a cubicle at corporate said that they needed to do, it made that store $10,000 a day. It made that store $70,000 to $80,000 a week. It beat comp. It beat goal from prior year. It continues to grow every year. But I don't tell them I'm proud of them. I don't tell them that they're doing a good job, because it's been drilled into my mind that they ain't doing a good enough job. And you know what? Maybe I should just change my way of thought. Maybe I should not listen to what my bosses have to tell me, and maybe I should go in there and maybe I should congratulate them and say, you know what? Thank you. You came into work that day. You know, you did this and you did that and you did your thing. Did you hit your sales metrics? No, you didn't add on anything that a customer did not want. You know, did you ask? Hopefully you did. But here's what you did. You showed up, you got the work done, and you beat goal, you beat target, and you made the company money. Maybe I should start doing that. Because I can guarantee you that if my boss came down and he said to me tomorrow, hey, I want to let you know, yes, you're not doing what the corporate guys in the office want you to do, but you are beating goal, you are beating target, you are going above and beyond every single day. Your store looks good. Here it is. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. If I heard that, it would give me the motivation to keep going. It would give me that motivation, that drive to try to push further. It would. I believe that in any place. It doesn't matter if you work in a warehouse. It doesn't matter if you work in a mom and pop shop. It doesn't matter if you work in a retail store. It does not matter where you work. You have your boss come to you and say, you know what? You broke your back today. You gave me the best you could. You showed up. You were here when nobody else would be here. You beat and exceeded targets. Thank you. Thank you for doing that for me. I couldn't have done it without you. And maybe that's what we need to hear. So yeah, like it is a, oh man, the workplace, excuse me, is a strange place. But, oh man, excuse me. But my whole rant today is about making sure that you balance yourself between work and home. Please make sure you do that. The old saying, home is where the heart is. And that is never, ever, ever going to change. It's one of the strongest phrases I've ever heard. Home is where the heart is. Because you can have the most horrible day at work. You can have customers coming in and screaming at you and, oh my God, this ain't right and that's not right, blah, blah, blah. As soon as you can walk through the door at your house, and you're greeted by family, people who love you, nothing matters. Nothing matters. And if you have pets, oh man, that's even a plus. Your dog, and no matter what, your cat, no matter what, will come to you and love you up because they missed you and they loved you and they don't care what you had going on, they are there for you. Same with family. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you got going on. You had a bad day? What happened? Talk to me. Let's sit on the front porch. Let's have a drink. Hey, it's a nice night out. Let's go out back. Let's have a fire. Talk to me about it. And your family is always there for you. So if you give them a story, oh man, I had this customer come in today and they're screaming and hollering and there's nothing I could do. They always have your back. Oh, hell with them. They don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Kind of make you feel a little better. So always try to balance your work versus your home life. Remember that your home life is where it's all at anyway. You're only at work because you want to make your home life better. I'm not lying. That's what it is. So make sure that your home life is your top priority. If you got to call the boss and hey, I got to take a personal day, I got to take a little bit of vacation time and just step away from the situation for a little bit, do it. Do it. Because if you're valued at the job that you work at, they will understand, they will accept it, they will allow you to take that time. They will allow you to regroup and get kind of like a better grasp on things and then go back at it. If they give you a hard time and they're like, no, you can't do that now, well, then, yeah, you might want to consider something else. Because I will be honest with you, if they're not willing to look out for you and your well-being, your mental health, your physical health, they're not worth it. The job, no matter what job it may be, it's not worth it. So, yeah. Like I said, I wanted to do another tipsy. I wanted to do it on the 4th of July. I just didn't really have too much to talk about. And today's my day, so I figured I'd sit and talk with you about that. I really don't have too much else going on in life. I will let you know that I am very excited. I do not have to work on Monday. So I plan on taking my very crisp, fresh fishing license on a trial run on Monday. Yes, I do plan on going fishing on Monday. I got my license. I've been asking about going fishing. I want to go fishing. It's very relaxing for me. So I think on Monday, weather permitting, of course, I'm going to do some fishing. That's what I want to do. I definitely like peaceful. I definitely like talking. I definitely like reminiscing. Yeah, I like that stuff. So Monday hopefully is going to be the day for me try out my tackle. I did just realign my fishing rods. I got all the stuff I got in my tackle box. I'm full. I'm ready to rock and roll. I need some bait and a place to fish. That's all. That's all I need. So yeah. Also, I want to give like a special shout out to Mrs. Tipsy for coming on to the last podcast of mine. That was very fun having her on. She said that she enjoyed it. She also wanted to talk about our cross-country trip. So that's probably going to be a podcast that I do that's just going to be all about the cross-country. It's going to let you know like where we were, states that we've been in, what we did. So hopefully you find that, kind of entertaining. But I think for now, I'm going to sign off. I would like to talk to you guys a lot more. I am, unfortunately, however, tonight, running out of things to say. I definitely want to give a shout out to my youngest, Sis. I know that you have heard her nickname out in one of the podcasts. She is our youngest. She is 16 years old. Her name is Sis. That's all you're going to know. I'm going to give a shout out to her because she just got her driver's license. Yes, that is correct. She went for her driver's test on Thursday and she passed. No issues at all. So congratulations to her. That's awesome. That's just a step in the right direction toward adulthood, if you want to call it that. So yeah, congratulations on that. Also, my son, who is deployed, will be coming back in about 4 more days. So not home here, but he will be going back to base, but he'll be stateside. So we're looking forward to that. We're ready to have him home. That's a very good thing. I wanted to say like, hopefully a couple of days, welcome home to our son who's deployed. Congratulations on your driver's license, Sis. I'm sure you're going to make a good driver. And so I think I'm going to end this podcast now. I don't have a closing quote off the top of my head, but I can maybe think of one. So I would say for my closing quote, value your life and the time that you get to spend with family, friends, and loved ones. Make sure that work always comes second to your family. Until next time, everybody, this is Mr. Tipsy signing off. You all have a very, very wonderful night.